Hey guys, this is Anastasia on Fire, and this video is my 16 witchy questions tag for bethewitchychange. Aqua Witch tagged everyone that was subscribed to her or that she is subscribed to, and I of course am subscribed to her because her channel is awesome, and lucky me, she's also subscribed to me, so I am duty bound to do this bad boy. Question 1, do you have a witchy name? Absolutely. Anastasia Autumnfire, not my given name. When I began kind of my solo path and really started dedicating to what is it that I believe, what are the practices I want to continue on my own, social media is such a huge thing. You've got Facebook, you've got YouTube, you've got all these different things at your fingertips. But when you also have family and friends that maybe you don't want them to know that you're looking into this kind of thing, it's rather hard to do that. So I asked the universe over and over and over, hey, I really want to know what my name is, because there are many ways you can come about a witchy name, and I don't think one is right, one is wrong. For me, what resonated was, what is the name that's out there? What is the name that I'm supposed to have? I kind of went with the whole mystical, magical, there must be something predestined. And I certainly don't think that's the only route. I have heard many ways of doing it, and actually I've been wanting to do a video on magical names. And I also don't think you need one. If you're able to go to your altars as John Smith and you don't have a fear of someone finding out that you're also a witch or a pagan, cool. Don't fix it if it ain't broke. For me, I wanted that anonymity, and through some meditations, signs from the universe, dreams, and then I confirmed it with numerology. Anastasia Autumnfire is what I came up with, and that I took on as my moniker, and then I was able to actually go out into the pagan community and be a part of it with some protection and with some privacy. So yeah, that in a nutshell is my witchy name. Where are you located? Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's about it. Do you wear a special amulet or jewelry when doing spell work? Yes. And I apologize, I'm looking off camera. I've got my questions here so I don't forget. Yes, I have 3 necklaces that I kind of alternate with. My favorite is my amber pendant that my witchy sister Elizabeth Crystal Hawk got me. I love amber resin. It connects. I love crafting with it when I make incense and candles and the oil. I love the stone, which is also kind of a resin. And she got me a pendant that has healing properties. Well, obviously amber is a great healing item, but it has 2 leaves, 2 pin oak leaves on one side, 1 pin oak leaf on the other side. And if you want to send healing out into the universe, you have the 2 pin oak leaves facing outward. If you want to bring healing inward, you flip it around and have the 2 pin oak leaves showing inward. So I really love that. She also gifted me with a onyx marble that has a dragon wrapped around it. I wear that sometimes, but I find I actually work better with it in my hand. I like kind of playing with it when I'm meditating or trying to keep focus. It's great for grounding. The last one that I wear is actually a tree of life pendant that I bought at a Irish fair. And when I bought it, it was Celtic and, well, Irish fair, so it made sense. I was working with Cernuno, so I bought it in honor of him. Then shortly after that, Hell kind of came to me and was like, hey, guess what? Work with me. So then I looked at the medallion and saw that it could also be the tree of the world tree. And so it has since evolved from just Cernunos to Cernunos and Hell. So when I want to work with just Cernunos, I make sure to wear the amber. When I want to work with Hell, I will wear the onyx or have the onyx in my hand. Or if I want to have both of them by my side, I will or honor both of them, I guess is more correct. I'll wear my tree. And yeah, so those are my amulets. Um, what is your favorite space or place? For me in my home, it's my kitchen. I love the kitchen. It is hearth, it is home. If I had a fireplace, then that would be where I would rock it. Right now, I have a little witchy space. It's basically like a little table, and I've got some bookcases next to it that has all my crafting and ingredients and that. But oftentimes I'll just shimmy on over to the kitchen table. And again, because it's an apartment, you've got the kitchen, and it kind of flows into the little dinette area that has the kitchen table in it. So yeah, though that's my place. That's where I connect the best, and so I love it. I really want to. I'd love to get an actual witchy room one day. That's just mine, that no one else can disturb me in. But that is a dream. That is just a dream at this point in my life. But I like my kitchen. I'm at home in it. What is your favorite stone or crystal for spellwork? This I'm actually going to agree with Aqua Witch. I absolutely love crystal quartz. It's my favorite because, like she said, you can program it for anything. It'll do anything. It also heightens vibrations of the other stones that it might be working with, or if it's or whatever magical purpose it's being given. It amplifies energy, so I like that as well. It also works with all of the elements, so I dig that. Otherwise, I love citrine because citrine has just this great positive energy. It doesn't need to be cleansed. It self-cleanses, and it actually has been super, super helpful with my daughter. I have a piece of it under her bed for protection and for helping her sleep. I also love rose quartz just because it reminds me of my daughter. Ever since she was a little girl, she loves rose quartz. It's calmed her. I had an oblong stone that Elizabeth Crystal Hawk gifted me, and Lily used to put it on her face when she was like stressing out and freaking out, and she'd put it on her face and just kind of do this, and it would calm her. And rose quartz, ever since then, she loves rose quartz, so it connects me to her. Otherwise, moonstone I love, especially black moonstone and rainbow moonstone. And then, like I said before, amber. Love amber. That, yeah, those are my favorites. Sorry, I hate looking down. I realize that probably is horrible. How long have you been practicing, and how have you come to witchcraft? I like to say I was born into it. My grandma Marie taught me quite a bit from her grandparents, who learned from their grandparents, who learned from their grandparents. Very much like kitchen witches, they were Romani, but they were pagans, and a lot of it was kitchen witchery, herbalism, things like that. Some divination, but she said mostly they were kind of midwife and apothecary type deals. So I got a lot of training from her. And then, as I've been very honest about, I left the path for quite some time, for a few years, because I wanted to fit in, I wanted to be normal, this, that, and the other thing. And I started working with Christianity, and while working with Christianity, everything that was popping for me and everything that really connected me were all these women in the Bible and all these women throughout that religion. And in hindsight, I now can look back and go, oh, it was the goddess trying to like smack me upside the head and tell me check. Really? You resonate with this? I don't think so. So then I've always phrased it as rediscovered my path, but Willow Dragonfly put it beautifully in her Be the Witchy Change video when she called it defining her path. That phrasing is so powerful to me, and I thank you so much. If you see this video, thank you so much for saying that, because holy moly, Rocky, that just hit me over the head like a frying pan. It's an odd way to be understood, but yeah, it really struck a chord with me, And that truly was what it was. I was redefining my path. I was looking at things from my own vantage, not necessarily from my grandmother's vantage or my father's vantage or any teacher or what have you. It was from me. Not to say I didn't look to teachers, because I certainly did, but it was more finding what resonated for me, finding what worked for me. And that is something that I started doing and really working on and focusing on like 6 or 7 years ago. So yeah. Do you have a deity, and how did you connect? Yes, I work with a patron and a matron, as well as sometimes other deities will come in. My patron is Cernunnos, and he came to me. I was at a point a few years ago where I wanted to know who my matron was. I wanted to know who my goddess was. This was a thing. I'd always worked in the abstract, and I wanted to know who my lady was. I wanted to know who I was. When I called to the Lord and the Lady, I wanted to know who that lady was. I wanted to work with her. I wanted to call her name. And it was silent. It was silent. It was silent. It was silent. And then one day I had this very intense and vivid dream. And I do not doubt, I know very well it was Cernunnos for various reasons. And, I kept asking the universe, I'm like, was this just a dream? Because it was around Beltane, so do I just have Cernunnos on the brain? What's the deal? And leaves would appear to me where there were no leaves, or like, oh boy, that sounded cuckoo. It was springtime, and yet there were fall oak tree leaves all over the place. And it's like, really? In May? There really shouldn't be autumn leaves around. And there were no oak tree trees around our apartment, so I really didn't understand where oak tree leaves were coming from. And there were some other things, and dreams persisted, and it suddenly was like, yep, no, it's Cernunnos. I need to accept that. And yeah, so Cernunnos is my patron. Hel is my matron. She was very similar to Cernunnos. I think that's for me because I feel as though, because I don't always accept my intuition. I don't always accept things that come to me in dreams because I logic it away. I feel as though intuition and dreams and that kind of thing hit me first, and then come ways of solidifying through research. So with Hel, I had this dream, and it was terrifying, but I was completely calm through it. And I should not have been. It was horrifying. But I was completely calm. And the next day, and in the dream, I even identified when I met her, when I saw her and she fixated on me, I said, oh, okay, you're Hel. And I was calm and collected, and I woke up as soon as I realized in my dream that's who I was dealing with, or seeing, or who was helping me. Actually, she was helping me in the dream. And next day I did a ton of research, and much like with Cernunnos, all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I've always been like that. Oh my gosh, I've always been like that. Oh my gosh, I've always agreed with that. And it just clicked. And there have been many times when I thought she's left me because she is so quiet and she is so silent at times. And then it's maybe her teaching me a new aspect or showing me a new aspect, or it's perhaps her just being silent and being like, chick, you need to figure this shit out. So yeah, anyway, those are my deities. I connected through them with dream, and then research basically confirmed. The ones that have kind of come in and out, I've worked with Hecate for a period. I worked with Lilith for a period. Klina was the first goddess I ever worked with. And then I am about to begin working with Tyr a little bit for my justice altar. I was planning it, and it was going to be very focused on Hel. And then all of a sudden, things started clicking, and I started going, oh, I need to include Tyr. I need to include Tyr. And it makes perfect sense. It's just I'd never worked with Tyr. He had never come to me. But while plotting it out, it was like this voice in the back of my head kept saying, you need to include, you need a god on this altar as well, and it needs to be Tyr. So I'm going to begin working with him very shortly, and yeah, that'll be interesting. So hope that makes sense. Sorry, there are doors making really weird noises behind me. I've got windows open because it's beautiful outside. Favorite incense or smudge? Amber resin, absolutely adore it. Also really dig dragon's blood. I love crafting my own incense blends, absolutely love it. But amber, without a doubt, I crave that stuff. My favorite smudge is a toss-up. It's between sweetgrass and Palo Santo wood. I love Palo Santo wood so bad. It's a thing. Have you ever had to clear a space with a negative entity? Yes. I have done this by myself. I have done this with my whole family. And I have done this with a fellow witch. So my buddy Brandon and I did it for a friend of ours. I've done it in the apartment that I'm in. I have done it at my home. I feel like there have been 3 major times when I've done it, and I know it's been a negative spirit around. And then there are other times, most of the time when I cleanse or smudge, it's genuinely just, okay, energy is stagnant, time to get it out of there. But at least 3 occasions I can think of where, nope, it was a negative entity, and once it was messing with my daughter. Not cool. You don't do that. The other time, it was at my friend's house, and like I said, she asked that Brandon and I come over, and it was testing. I feel like it was kind of, are you gonna be scared? Are you gonna be scared? I'm gonna mess with your energy here. Do you feel that? Do you feel that? And so, and luckily she caught on to that whole thing too, and we went in there, and yeah, never anything. I always fear it in hindsight, but when you get down to it, I don't worry about it that much. It's never. I've always had more power than I think I give myself credit for, if that makes sense. So when it comes to cleansing and smudging, and if there's a negative entity, the important thing to do is to have strength. Obviously know your limits, but also know your own power. And yeah, I'm very glad I've only had to do it a few times. And it's never been, the one that was messing with my daughter, I think I was just too, at that point, I think that could have become a bad thing, but because I went mama bear on it, I think that was good. And then I also asked the ancestors to help protect her, and I added some stones and some warding, and that seems to have helped. So, favorite witchy show or movie? I love Charmed. I also love Lost Girl. Not necessarily witchy, but it deals with the Fae world quite a bit, so I like that. And then Practical Magic. Everyone loves Practical Magic. It's such a warm, fuzzy, and I think it's very true. Everyone's work with the craft is so different. You can have those little meddling aunts that kind of mess with people's love lives and make charms and such. And then you can have, the hedge witch or the Sandra Bullock who crafts shampoos and kind of does the apothecary type deal. And then you've got, Nicole Kidman, who's just kind of out and about and all over. I love it. It makes me happy. And I totally want midnight margaritas. It would make me so happy. So yeah, that's it. I'm sure I'll think of like 20 more when I'm done with the video, but what do you do to help raise energy before a ritual? I drink tea. before anything. Um, if I'm doing a solo ritual or solitary working, I will usually make a tea out of herbs and stuff. I love catnip. Um, Hibiscus is good. Mugwort is good. It depends on what I'm doing. I can customize it that way, and I like that. If I'm doing coven work or work with my witchy sister or work with Brandon or work with a group of in any way, shape, or form, I stick with a very basic vanilla and ginger tea. Um, both vanilla and ginger help raise psychic vibration and energy from within, so I like that. And then I also listen to music. I love listening to, I've got an energy witchy playlist, and it helps to raise vibrations for me. I've got some traditional pagan chanting. I've got Omnia, and some of a lot of their music. But then I also have things like Muse, and I have things like Panic at the Disco lately. Oh my gosh, that raises my energy so hardcore. And anything, Tear, which is Finnish. I think it's Finnish. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna smack myself. Fantasy metal, but pagan metal. Hold the Heathen Hammer High, and oh my gosh, I can't remember what country. I want to say they're Finnish, but I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it's got a bunch of more newer music too. Some pop music that just speaks to me. It's whatever connects to you. It doesn't have to be pagan. It doesn't have to be ritualistic. I do have some of that. But anything that just kind of gets me focused and gets my blood pumping, it's usually good. Do you see yourself helping others magically? I believe so. I would hope just by doing videos like this that you're helping others magically, because I know when I watch other people's videos, they speak to me and resonate, and holy cow, I didn't think about that, and holy cow, I didn't think about that, and you get these truths and spiritual messages that you wouldn't get otherwise. So I hope so. I would like to think the crafting that I do is helpful. I know I've given some candles and like a prosperity and kind of wish fulfillment candle went to my friend Brandon, and he burnt it for 3 nights, and after that, I don't know if I say coincidentally because it seems a bit, really, after 3 nights, sounds a bit made up, but he said he burned it for 3 nights, and the next day he got a promotion, and then he got asked to the Ivies, which is a theater award show here in Minnesota, and this, that, and the other, and all these good things kind of started coming his way, so it makes me feel warm and fuzzy. But yeah, I like to think that those are ways, and I'd love to actually set up a shop or something for that purpose, because it's not so much about money. I genuinely enjoy making crafts, and I enjoy sending them out and helping people with them. So I'd like to think so, but at the same time, I also don't want to mitigate their own power in things. I feel like I help. I don't know that I can take full credit, and I never would. I hope that makes sense. Sorry, I saw something out of the corner of my eye. My house is being kind of, I think it's because I have all the windows open, so things are getting shifted and stuff. What is your preferred form of divination? My preferred form, without a doubt, is ember reading. I love it. It was the first form of divination I learned. I love fire scrying, smoke scrying. I'm learning the tarot, but I'm not very good at it quite yet. If I have the book with me, I'm kosher. But like, I've seen people without books and they just know what all the cards are and stuff. It's like, I also love oracle cards. Pendulum I really enjoy, but I do shake, so I always kind of question it. And then my friend Kayla got me a beautiful set of runes that are crystal quartz points. Once I get my justice altar up and going, I will do a video of that. And I've got my Yara quartz point, I think, and Hegelaz and a couple other ones. I can see them and the names are escaping me because, yeah. But I don't feel right using them yet for divination or things without fully studying them. I've studied the few that I'm using on that altar. I've studied their meaning and this and that, and I feel really close to them. But I get nervous using them because they are so ancient and they are so magic and they are just, there's so much to them. I want to make sure I do them. And anytime I do divination, I think that's why tarot I don't feel that connected to just yet, because I know I still have a long way to go and so much more to learn. I was doing a really good dedication on it, and then it kind of fell to the wayside, and I need to get back on that, but I want to make sure I choose the time better this time. So yeah, but ember reading was the first thing I learned. I love it. I don't, it's the one form of divination I don't question when I'm looking at the embers and I'm telling someone what I'm seeing and able to connect to them, even if like they don't feel like, I have done readings before where someone's like, it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really make sense. It's like, it will. I don't question it. Anytime I do a tarot reading or an oracle card reading or anything else, it's like if someone says, it doesn't really make sense, it gets to me. I'm like, oh God, I'm doing something wrong. I don't question it with embers. It's like, well, that's what I see. But if you say it doesn't make sense, okay, it doesn't make sense to you, but it will. And I think that's just because I've had the most time with it. And I learned it from my grandma. And I learned it from my father. And they knew what they were doing. And so I trust that knowledge a bit more. What element do you work with the most? Earth. Without a doubt, it's earth. I make herbs. I make candles. I use herbs in pretty much everything. I make the pentacle on everything I do, pretty much. When I work with energy, I've discovered recently it really connects to earth. I imagine it being pulled up through roots within me into my being and then out the core. The second element I feel most connected to and I feel I use the most is fire. But then air is like a close third. Water is the one that I really just don't use it that much, and I need to get better about that. But earth, without a doubt. I use that the most. It took me a really long time to admit to that, but it is. If you threw a party, what YouTube witchy pals would you invite? And I'm sorry, Aqua Witch, I'm totally taking your answer again. I would invite everyone. Why? Because I would love to get to meet people. And I love so many people's videos, and I would love to meet them in person. I feel sometimes like I'm a bit of a stalker on YouTube, and maybe that's why I toned down with the comments, because I felt like every time I watch a video, I get super excited about it, and then I feel like I'm that irritating younger sister talking to her older sister. Can I come? Can I come? Oh my gosh, you're so cool. Oh my gosh, you're so cool. And so I kind of worry about that. So I try to tone it down, and then when I tone it down, I suddenly realize I've shut up entirely. So yes, I would invite everyone so I could be that annoying little sister. Bug them in real life. So yeah, no, but that is my answer. There's so many amazing people. Obviously, I would love to actually meet the people that I feel like I'm establishing friendships with, at least. Wood Witch, Melissa, Anya, Chris, people that I talk to on Facebook and stuff daily, Cora, Mary. I'm just a bunch of people that I talk to daily, and I'm like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? I'd love to meet Pretty Alice Moon, because we've exchanged letters. Cassandra Joe, we've exchanged letters. I would love to actually meet these people. But honestly, if I had I could invite anyone, I'd invite everyone. Witchy goal for the new year. I talked about how much I love my kitchen. I would love to make that kind of my witchy area. I would like to make things that I can hang herbs off of. I used to be able to do that on a mirror that I had. But now, yeah, not so much. So I'd love to get some herbs hanging in there. I'd love to get my get a couple of specific, like my kitchen witch altar up, because right now it's kind of being taken down for something else. I'd love to make that kind of my witchy room. Like, it still can be used for D&D. It still can be used for, you know, dinner. It can still be used for all this other stuff. But it's mine. I want it to just be mine. So that is my witchy goal this year. And a few other things as well. I'd really love to get through a few books this year too, that I've started and just haven't finished. Yeah, maybe even get the courage enough to do like a Google's Hangout with someone. That might be fun. So yeah, those are the questions. Those are my answers. And with that, oh my god, 30 minutes. I'm so sorry I talk so much, guys. Anyway, I'll let you go. Oh, who am I taking? You know, sorry, I like the rule of 3. Aqua Witch, I'm totally taking what you said. If you are subbed to me, if I am subbed to you, and you see this video, do it up. Let's go around. I love hearing people's answers. I think it's so insightful, and so it's just kind of cool. We can see our differences, but we can also see our similarities, and I think there is wisdom to gain from both. So yeah, let's spread it around. Blessed be. Bye, guys.